Good evening, good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Welcome back to the YouTube channel for the very first time in a very long while. We decided to relaunch this. Like I say, I think it kind of reaches out into a bigger audience potentially. So we've decided to kind of relaunch today. Like I say, anyone that's kind of been on Instagram before, Instagram Lives, you know how it works. But we're going to obviously be reviewing the Luton game, the first leg from Friday evening, and then we're going to look ahead to obviously one of the biggest matches we've played in a good while now, tomorrow night in the second leg at home. Basically, I'll be joined by Rubin once again. I'm just going to add him in and we're going to get going because we've got lots to talk about tonight and I hope you enjoy. By the way, if you do want to get involved, just please comment in the chat. Like I say, we will be trying. If you do want to come on and pop in and have your opinions, I'll be posting the StreamYard link where you can join. But you have to have your camera on before I add you in, please. That is the rule. Without further ado, welcoming in Rubin. Hi, welcome. Yeah. How are you?
It's good to be back again. I haven't been on the YouTube for quite a while. Not even myself.
Great. It feels so weird to be back on YouTube. It's great in the same way as well. But anyway, so obviously we're going to be talking about first of all the first leg at Kenilworth Road that happened on Friday night. So before we kind of get into the lineups, how was you feeling going into this game? You know, obviously, a lot of people were feeling the same, but how was you kind of feeling?
Very nervous. I think I was trying to over the week. I wasn't nervous. I was trying to stay quite calm, and then it got to Friday night, and it was like, yeah, this is real now. It's actually happening, and that's the feeling. And obviously, we started the game. Obviously, I think I was kind of going into the game feeling quite confident. I saw the lineup and. I wasn't, no matter who were in there, we just had to back them really and up for a good performance really. So I think the lineup overall, I was fine with that as well.
Yes, of course. Which we are going to get into the lineups in a moment. But before we do, we've got another guest that's joined us late. It's Tyler. Tyler's going to come on in. And without further ado, welcome on in. You're working. You're here now.
I've done it.
But
you guys hear me, yeah?
Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, I can hear you and you're fine, so we're all good.
Yeah.
I'll put the same question to you, Tal, and kind of, how was you feeling going into this game on Friday night? It was very nervy, obviously. We didn't want to be going away, kind of losing the game. But, how was you feeling overall?
Well, we went into it with seeing the lineup come out and Sauber on the bench, and I think that made it a bit stronger knowing we've got Sauber back as everyone wanted. And to be fair, I went in feeling quite optimistic about it because I thought, I know we can't underestimate Luton, but we've come off this season. They've scored 0 goals against us, the first one being a draw and the second one was winning 2-0. So as nervy as it is with playoffs, it wasn't nervy as much knowing we got them instead of Sheffield United. So I think that's how I felt about it.
Yeah, fair enough. Like I said, I think anybody you get in the playoffs, like I say, is tough, but... like I said, we have got more quality than them. We've just got to show it now in this second. But anyway, first of all, obviously the lineups. Obviously, it was great to see Lewis O'Brien back, of course, obviously after missing last week. We kind of expect him to be back. And obviously, it was nice to see Sauber Thomas get a few minutes at the end of the game. And I think he'll be ready for tomorrow night now, which would be great.
I think he'll be starting against the Luton in the second leg. I think he came in that game. We didn't really see much of him because he came on quite late. But I think in the Luton game, I think he will start. But then you got to think about where is he going to start with the new formation with 2 up front. I think we played Ward up front and Sinani, was it?
Well, I thought 3-4-3. I thought we played 3-4-3.
I seen one. When it got put on Sky Sports, it was 3-4, and then I don't know what it was, but there was 2 up front. It was Ward and Sinani up front.
Right. First half it were 2 up front. I think first half it was. I think we changed it second half. It were a bit more. I think because we were in control again, we were kind of playing last. wider. Because I think first half it were all that counter attack. We played 2 up front, and obviously it worked. And then second half, obviously we were kind of on top, so we was trying to spread it out a bit more on down that.
Right. So, okay, then fair enough. But I mean, yeah, like I said, it was great to see Lewis back, and obviously Saba. I mean, obviously Pearson's back in training now, so it'll be interesting if he's actually potentially on the bench tomorrow, which we'll have to wait and see about that one. But great to see him back in training. Up the town. Hello, Alex. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. I want Sheffield United in the final. Yeah, fair enough. But like I say, whoever we get, bring them on. But we have to get there first. Remember, I keep getting carried away here. The job isn't done yet. But we're so close, and like I said, we are at home tomorrow. But anyway, like I said, let's get into the game of the key points then. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, this, the first kind of kick of the game, this penalty that we claimed was a Stonewall penalty. I can't understand why it wasn't given. What's your thoughts on this, Rubin? Because it had to be, it could have changed the game massively as well.
It was definitely a penalty. I think there's a lot of reasons he probably didn't give it. One, because it was 30 seconds in, and he was just thinking, yeah, it's a quick ball into the box. He'd probably dive. It is I think from the referee's view, he should be giving that. It's not even like it's an arm in the back; it's an arm in the neck. So it's even higher up. It's so easy to see, especially from his view. He went right on the edge of the box. It's a good chance. I think if you don't get pushed there, I think he gets the header off, and you'd probably back topple over the formers and probably put that in the back of the net. So I think it was definitely a penalty, but it's the EFL. You just 9 times out of 10, it's probably not going to get given. So. It's shit, but oops, sorry for swearing, but it is bad. But it's just one of them things. It happens every week now, and you just got to get on with it, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's never too early to give a penalty. I understand what you're saying, but a penalty is a penalty. What's your thoughts, Tyler, on this? I'm sure you agree with Rubin and me.
Yeah, I don't think I can put it into much better words. I understand this. Was it barely 30 seconds in?
Yeah, it was the first.
I think it was the first few kicks of the ball. So yeah, I understand that. But then if we're gonna have VAR in the final, then maybe have it in the playoffs. But it is what it is. I can understand why he didn't give it, but you got to think it was a high arm. So.
Yeah, like I said, it was definitely a penalty, and like I say, that could have potentially changed the outcome of the match as well, the result in terms of the result as well. But we won't know that, will we? But I think it potentially could have, helped us to win that game. But anyway, we're going to go into VAR later on in the stream, by the way, because I want to know your thoughts about this. But we'll get into that in a moment. So let's talk about the goal that we scored, because it was a brilliant counter-attack, by the way. It was a great break. And Harry Toffolo, if he doesn't score, he's always involved in some kind of, assisting. And he provided a beautiful ball through to Sanani, like I say. And actually, Sanani kind of had a great strike as well. But I think the goalkeeper will be questioning there. But anyway, you've still got to finish the job. You've still got to, try and score. And it was a perfect start for us, like I say, 12-minute goal. What was your kind of thoughts on that goal? Because it was very impressive, wasn't it, the way we broke so quickly?
Yeah, I think it was a very good goal. I think the first 10 minutes were very shaky. Obviously, Luton managed to get a good shot off, and obviously Nichols saved. So the first 10 minutes was we were kind of on the back foot, definitely, and we were a bit scared. People like Russell giving the ball away. We were struggling to get onto the ball and actually do something with it. And then the first time we actually did get on the ball and do something was obviously the goal. And it's one of them, it's got to be a perfect ball. Nerves are high, so he's done well there to make sure that ball is right on his foot. And then from Sanani there, he knows he ain't going to just run straight through. He knows the centre back's going to get back, and I think it's a clever finish. I know, maybe the keeper should have done better, but at the end of the day, he snuck it past the keeper. A keeper who's not, got loads of confidence. He's only been here 2 games, so we're a nice little clean finish, and he did everything right. Sanani ain't fastest, so just for him to be able to get past his man and get the shot off, it was a really good goal, and obviously especially for the first attack and the first shot of the game for us.
Yeah, absolutely. What was your
take on it? The ball from Toff was amazing, but I think we kind of caught him quite in a counter attack as they only had a few man back. But Sinani, I think he did well because 2 of the defenders were quite close to him. And to be fair, he had a fair bit to run. I think it was just under the whole half of it to run if he wanted to go through with it. And he ended up doing so. And the finish, the near post finish, the keeper probably should have got to it, but he finished it nicely.
Absolutely. And we've got another guest waiting, by the way. And I can't believe we've got nearly another 3 guests. But I'm going to invite Zach on here because I haven't actually spoken to him before, but it would be great to get him on to. I don't know if he wants to air his views or whatever he wants to do, but we'll get him in and let's have a chat with him as well. Hello, good evening. Hello, how are you?
Up the town.
Any particular point you want to make, or are you, just wondering what kind of thoughts you want to take so far we've covered? Pardon?
We should have won on Friday.
Yeah, I think it was one of those that we had to, as long as we didn't lose that match, it was important to do so. But yeah, I'm kind of obviously just kind of, yeah, so what was your take on the goal then from us, by the way? It was very good, wasn't it? We good. But yeah. But yeah, hang on one moment. Sorry, I'm just gonna. The layout's a bit. I can't believe I've got 3 guests on here. It's great. So obviously we're gonna just go on to the equaliser that Luton kind of had. Obviously, it happened in the 30th minute. I mean, from my point of view, and I'll go first on this and kind of give my take on it. It really is disappointing the way we conceded this free kick because, you cannot afford to keep giving set piece away. And then after that, I think, in all fairness, it was a great cross. But the defending as well in this one was very, very poor. And like I say, it just kind of disappointed me slightly. I mean, Rubin, what was your thoughts on this equaliser? It was very disappointing.
Yeah, I think it were poor from Leeds, and it's one of the first times it does really show the nerves because never does Leeds just jump into a tackle like that. And I think he's being drawn quite far out of position as well because he shouldn't have been down there. And obviously, he commits to the tackle, gives away a free kick, and it's one of them. It's an awkward free kick to try and defend because it's just at that right height where it pings straight into the box, and basically all they have to do there will hit it in the end. Might have been offside, maybe, you can't really call it, not with eyes, maybe they are, but overall it were a poor way to give away a goal, but I guess it were a decent set piece from them, obviously they exploited that, and yeah, I think it were poor to give away, but obviously it were a good goal, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler, what was your thoughts on this? Do you have a different take than Rubin, or?
Yeah, I agree with that. It were a nice finish, but I think it just shows how nervy the playoffs are. We gave away a lot of silly free kicks, I think it's fair to say. Over the game, we gave a few very, very silly ones that we probably didn't need to. But yeah, I guess Luton got the job done and put it in fairly. But like Rubin said, offside or not, can't say out on it. But
yeah, I mean, for me, the point is we just shouldn't have conceded. We shouldn't have, with stupid foul. You just didn't need to do it from that area. So,
yeah.
What was your take on it, Isaac? How was you feeling when they equalised? Because it kind of they had the better of the first half. I'm sure you'll agree there. But I mean, it wasn't good enough really from our point of view to concede like that.
No. We should have scored more, but
yeah, absolutely. I mean. Right, so yeah, but like I said, we're just gonna continue with this now. So we're just gonna up the town, yeah. Oh, we've already covered that. Hello, you're saying hello to us. Come on, Terriers, Matt Daly, thank you. Yeah, don't forget to like this video if you're watching, and please subscribe, by the way, because we are going to be doing more of these on YouTube. I think it's important to keep consistent now. I'm not sure what kind of content we've got when the season's over with, but we're going to try and do every week, do some kind of different episode. But I'm not sure yet. But anyway, I think that it was ironic though that the first half they looked better than us, but we still managed to score. Obviously they scored as well, but it's one of those that they had the first half, but we had the second half. We definitely improved in that second half. But to me, we never really brought our A game to the table in this one, I think. And like I say, I've kind of put here that, had we have done, I think we would have won that game because we know that we're better than them. If we But I mean, that kind of, I mean, I forgot to actually say about what was your everybody's thoughts on kind of their penalty claim, because I don't think it was a penalty, by the way, because I think it's more of a clash of legs, really.
Yeah, definitely not a penalty. It's like, it's come, they will say it, but if you look on the replay, there's no actual contact by Sarr with his legs. There might be tuffling with the shoulders, but there's no wrong with that. And then obviously in the end, it's actually Jerome that kicks Sarr in the back of the leg and brings him down. So, even if there were VAR, I think we'd probably get a free kick there, to be fair, because he has kicked down the back of his leg and it probably wouldn't have gone out for a corner in the end, but definitely not a penalty. I think they know it's not a penalty, and Nathan Jones, looking back at it, will know it's not a penalty, but obviously, they'll try and shout for it. But it's probably the best referee call of the game, another day, that probably gets given, to be fair, so it was good ref in there, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody else want to add anything to that? Oh, happy to. You're on mute. I can't hear you, Tyler. You're on mute. Sorry. I think.
Yeah, I've done it. I'll add to what you said about the A game, but I think we came into this game thinking we have got the game at our ground, but you can't necessarily think like that. Whether it was that or not, we don't know. But I think they came into the game knowing we have a game at our home ground with our atmosphere and everything. Maybe that's what I've been thinking a bit. Maybe we weren't playing the best, knowing we have got that to come back to on Monday. Which we have, but then you can't always rely on that, because look at us, we went to their ground, we scored the first goal, so you just don't know what can happen on the day. But in my head, I've been thinking, yeah, we have got it at our ground, maybe it was that, but you just never know, because anyone coming on the day, and we've seen that multiple times this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else you want to add? Do you want to add anything, Zach, or are you alright?
We should have got at least 2 penalties.
I mean, we definitely should have got one, but I'm like I said, I think it's one of those that we've never had refereeing decisions all season. In all fairness, and we very rarely get penalties. If you look over the season, we've only had 3 penalties all season, so that kind of sums it up, really.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, they're kind of. And I think that obviously, I'm kind of stirring now. So I want to talk about the wall chance. I'm sure you all remember it very well. Like I say, Sanani providing again. He's just brilliant, really. I mean, he obviously got the ball in, and had Ward got anything onto it, it would have been a goal. I'm sure you know the chance I'm talking about here.
No, he did it. He actually did it. Ward did actually flick it on with his head.
I mean,
see, but he did flick it on, and there were a bit of contact at the back of his head, and it's just one of them. That's really annoying, because it would have been a nice, decent goal, and I think keeper's just he just had to put his body in where he didn't know where that were off. It was just one of them, really. But,
I mean, yeah, definitely. But like I said, I think that had he got more contact, it would have been in. That's what I'm kind of saying. But yeah, and then obviously, remember the great counter attack again. We were very good at counter attacking. That transition was very quick at times on Friday. Lewis O'Brien, obviously, with a great chance going through. But I mean, obviously his shot was, but on another day, it might have gone, might have had a, kind of went in kind of thing. But unfortunately, it didn't. So I'm kind of just going to, I'm going to get the stats up now, by the way, because I think it's important to evaluate this before.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at it, I mean, Luton actually had more shots than us. They had 12 shots and 3 on target. Now, obviously, we had 9 shots and only 2 on target. The possession, we just edged the possession by a couple. Now, for me, we was really, in that second half, we were a lot better. I'm sure you'll both agree here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But the problem I've got is, what did we have to show for that domination? That said, we didn't have anything, and we had to do better, in them moments. And I think that's the key here. We didn't do much, even though we dominated. But I think our second half was better than their first half. I know, obviously, definitely. But I don't know. I mean, obviously, before the game, we wanted to just be still in the game, coming back to the John Smith's tomorrow night. And we are in the game, so we can't really say much, can't really kind of complain too much. I'm just kind of keen to know. We have to be better tomorrow night, though. By the way, to win. I mean, I'm not saying what we do because it wasn't good enough.
I think that sorry to interrupt you there, but I think it kind of adds back to my point that we have to be better tomorrow night. And I don't know if anyone else would say, but I'd say it's kind of an advantage to be at home on the second leg. With the scoreline being 1-1 on aggregate, knowing we have to be better, I think it kind of adds to that the feeling of we need to get it, and especially being at home, I think it's going to help massively. Yeah. But we'll see how tomorrow night has to go.
Yeah, like we'll have to see what happens. Thomas should be in the starting 11. I expect him to be in the starting 11 on Monday, and if he isn't, I'm going to be gutted. Yeah, tomorrow. I kept doing that earlier. I kept saying Monday, and then obviously it's tomorrow. It doesn't feel like tomorrow, but it is. So yeah, I want to talk about. Obviously, I don't know if you've both seen. Obviously, Nathan Jones is kind of. I think he was very disrespectful for us in all honesty.
Yeah,
he was playing a lot of mind games in that interview. By the way, he was trying to rile us a bit.
I don't. I'm not sure if you lot saw the video, but you probably have. And he was talking about Sinani and Corwell and everything. He was, they've paid big money for these lot, but they're on loan. So
he was just trying.
I think he probably knows that as well. But
I mean, I'm sorry, but he knows what he's doing, and I think I had a lot of plaudits going into this game for him because I think he's done a fantastic job at Luton, and I think that, but I've kind of lost a bit of respect from him in this aspect now.
Yeah, I kind of feel we're trying to just bring it down a bit, but there was. I've not seen Carlos say anything, but I probably think he's been quite respectful about it. And the way the Luton's manager were going on, I don't think he were giving it back, to be fair. But
I think what he's trying to do, though, is really he's tried to make us look like the underdogs. And it's one of them games where they're both underdogs. But by saying things like that in an interview, it makes us feel like we're not the underdogs, saying that we spent big money on, it was a proper waffle. Like some of the stuff he was saying Ward, ex-Premier League players, saying that we'd had Lewis O'Brien in the Premier League, but we were playing for Bradford when we were in the Premier League, just saying things like that, saying we spent big money to Nani, who's alone. I don't know who else he was on about, but he just, we're awful. But he's really just he's trying to make Luton look like the underdog and trying to make us look like that big team. Just that maybe unsettles a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, apparently he said that Sa should have got sent off for that penalty.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And he said that I would want a penalty, and then he mentioned Nichols as well, didn't he? Obviously, he was saying that he's done it all season, wasting time or something like that. He said something very negative towards.
Yeah, he said we had an article written on us about time wasting. He says.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Ryan, I'm just gonna get off for my tea, and if you're still on, I'll come back on.
Yeah, no problem. Right,
all right, see you in a bit.
Thanks for coming.
All right, see ya.
So yeah, like I say, overall though, we're still in there. Coming to the set, like I said earlier, a draw. But to me, I just felt we could have won. But anyway, and the thing is, we're going to look ahead to obviously tomorrow night now. And yeah, so I'm just going to get up something here. So yeah, I'm going to kind of say my lineup that I'd like to start for this game, and then if you want to say yours. I think we should be playing a 3-4-3 in this one. Now, I'm just going to... I mean, for me, I would make a couple of changes. Now, obviously, Lee Nichols stays in goal for me, obviously. Jonathan Hogg in the middle of the back three with Lees at one side. But I'd actually take Sarr out of this one, and I'd put Colwell back in now.
Yeah.
Because I think it just suits this game more at home, having someone like Colwell. I think because Carlos knew that would be kind of, going on the counter-attack a lot. I think that Sarr was kind of bit... I was a bit shocked that he wasn't actually starting Colwell to start with in the first leg, but I can kind of see, having spoken to a few people, why he may have chosen to do so because of how he was playing in that match. Then obviously the 4. So I'm gonna take Turton out. I'm gonna put Pippa on because I think this Luton side. I mean, I love Turton. Don't get me wrong, but I think Pippa can really get at him from get go. Tomorrow night, and it'll make a big difference. And Turton, possibly come on in the second half to kind of see out the game, hopefully. I mean, and then obviously Jonathan Russell in the middle with Lewis O'Brien, and then Toffolo. You know, you just can't miss Toff at the moment. He's just on fire. And then obviously the front three, I'd go Danny Ward, Senani, and I'd go Sorba Thomas to start for me. I think that's my kind of lineup. What kind of lineup are you looking at for tomorrow night, and kind of looking ahead to?
I think it's definitely similar. I think definitely Sarr out and Cole in. I was obviously surprised by you because I thought, I know Cole's 18, but the maturity, you know, he's ready to play in these sort of games. He's very much ready. You know, next season with us maybe, or whoever is with, he's going to be in the Premier League next season. That's, you know, a fact, definitely. So he was definitely ready to, you know, take on the challenge in these games. I think looking back at the game now, I do think maybe Sarr suited it a bit more. I think the only problem with Sarr is he can make them mistakes. He rushes sometimes. But I think aerially and that kind of tense physical game, I think it were, you know, I think it were a better suited game for Sarr. Maybe not all the game. Maybe Cole could have come on at some point. Obviously, didn't. But I'd keep that back three the same, obviously, and then put Cole in. Same midfield, but I'm just really stuck because I think Holmes had a really, really good game on Friday. He's done what he's good at, but he's not done it all season. That's probably the first game he's actually done what he's good at, and it's driving at players, turning, running with the ball, making proper passes that don't go not to the man. And that was his best game, you know. He really was. He showed, you know, his worth. And it's so hard because, you know, obviously Stormer's going to be coming back in, so someone's got to be out. And I won't take Senani out because Senani also played well. So it is, even though Holmes did get man of the match, maybe Tex out, he still takes him out. But obviously Corberan, you know, if he trusts you, he'll play you. So maybe we will see Holmes start, you know. It definitely wouldn't surprise us if he did start. But obviously Sorba on that right, and then Senani and Ward up front. And, you know, I think one of the things we missed were definitely Sorba, especially in that second half, because all that domination and all them corners on another day, especially obviously the first corner Sorba took were literally Ingram were just swiping at it. All someone had to do was attack that, and it had probably been a goal. Obviously, Lee shouldered one of them. You know, you'd back him to do that into back at any day of the week. So we had a few chances, and I think, you know, at home, we're really going to have to take advantage, and hopefully we'll get enough corners, and hopefully we'll put some into the back of the net. We scored against the corner last time. We're definitely capable of it, and we just need to make sure that, you know, whatever we play, I think we need to make sure we insert that dominance and make sure that we're in control of that game like we were in the other fixture against them when we beat them 2-0. And yeah,
absolutely, I totally agree. Yeah, because obviously in the first leg, just quickly going back to that, obviously we had 9 corners and the delivery was so poor, wasn't it? You know, in those.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be testing Ingram a bit more than we did as well. Obviously, 2 shots on target, just not good enough. I mean, I know we're away from home, but I just think that the domination in that second half, we should really have created a bit more than we did. But anyway, we're going back to that game, and we should be still happy with it because, you know, we're going into the obviously the home tie tomorrow. Now, you know, the thing is for me in this one, I'm kind of interested to see how Luton will approach this one, because do you think that they'll try and come here and kind of frustrate the players, the crowd, for as long as they can, then maybe snatch it at the end, maybe? Or I don't know. I mean, I know it's a guessing game, but how do you see them coming? What do you think their plan's going to be coming to the John Smiths tomorrow?
I think they're going to come here and they're going to do exactly what they did at home. I don't think Nathan Jones is the sort of manager to be especially as they'll class themselves as the underdogs in this game, so they'll definitely be looking to come here and do exactly what they did in the first leg and put a lot of pressure on. But I just don't know how they're going to play. Obviously, Adebayo probably still have missed to start. Obviously, he might be on the bench. We're hoping not. But obviously, and a few of their players as well did, you know, get cramped. Obviously, that's probably nothing too major. Hopefully, you know, some of them are either not starting or, you know, not in the squad at all. But overall, I think we can definitely see a similar sort of game from Friday. But I don't think we need to focus on how they play. I just think we need to make sure that we do what we've been doing all season, really, and make sure that we start better first. Because normally in the first 20 minutes of the game, every game you'd back us to start better than the other team, no matter who it is. Whereas, you know, on Friday, the first 10 minutes it were all them. But, you know, then saying that, we did score about 2 minutes later. But it's just one of them. We've got to make sure we start better first, and we've got to make, I think we need a goal first 30 minutes again. Really, I definitely think. I don't know who it'll be, but someone's getting a goal in that first 30 minutes. I'd definitely say, I'd bet on it.
Yeah. I mean, I was just going to say that. I was going to say that we definitely need that early goal just to settle the nerves a bit, because it will be a really nervous game. Obviously, I am really nervous, but I do back the player. I'm not saying that, but it's just because what's at stake here. It's massive. It really is, and I mean, we just have to, if we play to our best, we win this game, regardless of what they do. Now, Sorba Thomas has to start for me now because, like I say, we really did miss him, like you said, on Friday. And I hope Carlos does start him. I know that obviously he's in my lineup to start, but Carlos needs to just get him in there now because, we need him, kind of thing. But yeah, so kind of looking at what was I going to say now? I mean, I had so much to talk about, and now I'm just integrating. I want to touch upon VAR a moment because obviously, kind of speaking to a few people about this really, because obviously they announced that obviously VAR will be in the final if we get there, of course. I'm just saying, but I still want to talk about it because obviously it's football related. I mean, to me, VAR shouldn't be allowed to be in the final because if it's not been in the Championship all season, why is it just coming in for a fact? You know what I mean? I don't understand that.
I think the biggest reason for it being in and the reason that it was voted to be in is because there's about £150 million at stake for whoever wins it. But it is one of them, you can love it, but you can really hate it. And, you're seeing the Championship every week. As much as you don't want to be your team, there's been chances, there's no matter what, there's chances every week where for both teams with VAR, there'd be penalties, decisions like that given. So as much as, you'd want it for your team and to use it to your advantage, it's going to be it's just one of them. It could easily go against you. And it's not even like it's accurate, little decisions, that VAR, give that are wrong, that can easily happen as well. So we'll just, I'm not, you can't be too bothered about it. It's happened now. It's going to be in the final. Obviously, we need to get there first. But even if it's not us in the final, both teams, if it's going against you, you're going to hate it. If it's going, if it's helping you, you're going to love it. It's just one of them, really. No one likes VAR. It's not even like it's accurate. That's the scariest thing about it. It's not even accurate. So someone could get given that's not even actually like, a handball, so it's just scary to think about it, really.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at maybe, the decisions that happened in the first leg, though, I mean, that penalty that we was playing for definitely would have been given. Yeah. And like I said, the Luton one would definitely not have been given. And their goal, I think, would have been ruled out as well, by the way, because you know how, if you're that close to being offside, if you're like a millimetre, they always give it, don't they? They always say it's offside.
Yeah, and also, obviously, Bradley were offside, and I think Cornick as well. He stuck a foot out there. He's kind of, potentially distracted Nichols or the defence. So, there are a few little things there that probably could have been given as offside. But, yeah, I think if they were going to use it, I think they should have used it in the semi-finals as well because, and obviously, look, I don't know. I didn't really watch the Sheffield game yesterday, but there was probably a few decisions in that game where with VAR stuff might have been given. So I think it's a bit unfair not to use it in semi-finals because, whoever wins tomorrow and whoever wins on Tuesday, if decisions go against you and you know that with VAR you'd have probably won the game, it's going to feel pretty bad. So I think it's kind of unfair in that sense not to use it in the semi-finals as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of got to the time where we kind of predict kind of a score in this one. Now, obviously, I mean, I'm sensing that you're kind of confident for tomorrow night. Is that my understanding? Yeah, how are you feeling going tomorrow?
I'm definitely confident. I'm not making a prediction. I didn't make a prediction for the last game. I'm just not going to do it. It's just not something I'd like to do. But I'm definitely confident. I can definitely say that. I think it's having Sorba back in the team is all the confidence. That's a lot of the confidence. And I think just knowing we're back at home too, and knowing that it wasn't the best performance, and knowing that normally we don't play bad twice. That's also going to give us a bit of confidence. Just knowing that it would have been nice to come away with like maybe a 1-0 win. and feel that a little bit more confident. But it's back to 0-0 now. It's it's 0-0. It's a new game. None of that other leg really matters because there's no advantages for both teams apart from the wear at home. But obviously, just having Thomas back, that's the main confidence boost for us. Knowing that he came on and made a big chance into the box from one of his corners and made Ingram swipe it in. They could do that all game. One of them's going in. Just to know that someone's going to be putting the ball in the box, I think, that's just good to know. And obviously, I'm quite confident. Not nervous yet, actually. I wasn't nervous all the way up till last game. It's kind of one of them. I tried to stay calm. It's one of them. The best thing, the way I think about it is, it's not here yet, so there's no point fretting until the first the whistle's blown. But as soon as it gets to the build up and you're going down, and then it gets a bit more real, then what's at stake then.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think for me the build up starts the night before or whatever. But he's kind of getting to that now. But I mean, I was gonna say something. I've lost my track of thought again, so please bear with me a moment. I mean, what are we kind of, I think that we need to obviously Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Obviously, the home advantage needs to count in this one, as we all know. But the fans have to stay patient as well because it makes it. I mean, we can't afford to put the kind of, when you can sense that nervous atmosphere sometimes. I don't want that to happen, and that's why we need to get an early goal just to settle everybody down, because otherwise it's just going to it's going to play into Luton hands more, really, I think, if the game goes on and on and on, because then the crowd will start to get a bit, and we need to stick with them. Like I said, we need to be loud. We need to notch it up a bit as well. The atmosphere, don't you agree? I mean, the atmosphere has been okay this season and fantastic times, but it needs to be a bit better for me but we need to be a difference. But
just need to back the boys really. No matter what happens tomorrow night, we've got to be proud of them. Even if we're 1-0 down, we've got to stay and stick with them the whole game, because no matter if we're losing or winning tomorrow, it's going to be a nervy game, especially if we're winning the game. So we've just got to, stick with them, And I think the main thing is the fan, like you said, that nervy atmosphere. I think the best thing for us to do is just not feel nervous as fans, because when we start feeling nervous and there's that ooze in the crowd, it's not completely silent, but it's just kind of murmurs, and that's when that's a nervous atmosphere. And we just need to make sure we cut that out and just keep singing for the rest of the game, keep it loud, keep it nice and confident, and we'll just see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, good point. My predictions are penalties or a win. Oh, don't take me through penalties again, please. Too much. We've had enough penalties over the years. Tough game as well, yeah. Well done, relaunch. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We're a better team, but Luton are good, so I guess it's a bit of a gamble. Like I said, I think we are the better team. We know this. But the players don't work like that. Unfortunately, you have to beat what's in front of you. And like I said, Luton are still a great side because of you still got to respect them for what they've done this season and kind of thing. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, and we want to be booking a trip to Wembley come tomorrow night. That'll be the idea, because I think it'll be very, very. I know that we can be proud of this team no matter what happens tomorrow night, but it just feels so heartbreaking and gutting if we didn't get there, because this group deserve it. Because I'm not being biased here. I am just truly, honestly saying they do deserve it, because what we've created this season, and the goals we scored, the defense, it really showed up. A goalkeeper that's just incredible, and definitely, England's number one in my opinion, and I'm not joking. He definitely has got that potential. And I just think I worry for us if we don't go up this time. I really do. I mean, what are your thoughts on it? Because obviously, I feel like we're going to lose a lot of our squad, and this is the issue I've got here. And I think it may just be, it may just not. I mean, go on.
Yeah, I think the way I look at it is there's only really for me 2 players who might leave in the summer. I think, well, not might. There's one that's a definite if we don't go up, which is Lewis O'Brien, but. I'll be happy for him if he leaves and we don't go up, because I think there's a good side to it. Yes, he's leaving, but he'll probably go into a good team. West Ham, are quite interested. He's a David Moyes sort of player. So if we can get him away for a good price, over 10 mil, you've got to take it. At least, especially when he had the chance to go last season and he could have gone to Leeds. And we've just got to be thankful that he didn't make that decision and stayed with the club, signed a new contract, but not just sign a new contract. put that release clause in, which were the main thing. And obviously, he's giving back to the club there with the money. Obviously, we probably, knowing us, won't spend that well, but it's still money at the end of the day. And then obviously, Toffolo, the situation with his contract, maybe just I'd still back him to sign another contract. I think it just depends on how we're looking in the summer. I think that's the decision for him to make. Can he look at that squad in the summer and go, yeah, we can go again? I think there's definitely the potential. There's players like John Russell and Saul, but they're definitely going to be here next season, especially because they're on contract. There's no way we're going to sell them. Nichols as well. I think there will be offers coming in for him, but then again, I think we keep hold of him as well. Pippa and Turton. Obviously, Turton's getting better. I think, he could potentially really, be a star player for us next season. Same with Pippa, obviously. Just, this season he's been, struggling with fitness, and that's why he's not been in the squad as much. But when he does play, he's good. Players like that. And then obviously Sanan, they'd love to get him on a permanent as long as it's not too expensive. And then obviously we're finishing third as well, so we're going to get money from that. So I think it's mainly, just about keeping most of the squad. Yes, O'Brien's going to leave if we don't go up, but we know it's going to happen if we don't. Toffolo, I think, will wait to see what happens in the window before he signs a new contract. But even if he does sign a new contract, I think it'll only be like a year extension, same again. But I'm pretty confident we'll keep most of the team, definitely.
Yeah, fair enough. I just kind of want to get your take on that. But obviously, we're wanting to get to Wembley, so we don't want to be thinking like that at the moment. In the second half of the season, we've been the best team in the league. I mean, do you agree with this? Because I think
I'd have to go Forest. I think any man would have to go Forest. They've been just amazing. I think, especially when you think about it, December, obviously Cooper came in like mid-October, and obviously I know that's not the second half of the season, but just about they'd be top of the league. By the time Cooper comes in about November time, from then till now, they'd actually be top of the league. So I think you can only really say Nottingham, really, definitely.
Well, we're definitely a close second for sure in that best. Yeah, John Russell, maybe. I think he's on about maybe John Russell leaving if we don't go.
Oh no, definitely not. I think I don't know what his contract situation is, because obviously he came through the B team, so there's not a lot of news on that. But obviously he'll definitely be on like at least 3 years. So much potential, and that's why it's quite exciting to know. Even though yes, O'Brien is leaving, and he's not the same sort of player as Russell. He's better. He's more all-rounded, but we can be confident and know that Russell's going to get even better next season, and maybe he'll become the star man next season if we don't go up. Even if we do go up, there's a lot of potential there. That's a really good. I think that's the highest potential signing we've got in the squad at the moment. I think he's 21 at the moment, so very young. He's playing so well at the moment. So I'll definitely not be worried about Russell going. I don't think he'll get much attention, but maybe he will. But definitely we won't be interested in selling him.
Yeah, I mean, because of his, I think it's remarkable how he seems like he's been in that team years. When you watch him play, week in, week out, it's just crazy. And, it just shows, it's a matter about experience. You just got to come in and do your best. I mean, obviously, Cornet tomorrow now. I mean, we've got to be very careful about this guy, because he is a threat. And he's definitely a threat from our. He obviously spelled it wrong, but I know what he means. He's a threat to our defence. We have to keep him quiet. I mean, we've got to be solid defensively. I mean, we just have to see what happens, really. But I think, like I say, we're more than capable of kind of keeping him quiet. Sorry. If we go, we need a striker. I rate Ward, but we would need a new striker. Yes, I definitely need a striker. I think. Sorry, I was just going to ask you, what kind of, if we did go up, what kind of recruit? What would you be where would you be looking for players? Because it's such a difficult one, isn't it? Because
I think I don't want to be I think we read the mistakes last time of going abroad. I think we need to stick to either relegated players or players who've played in the Premier League or not getting game time this season. I think we definitely need a striker. I think one of the biggest problems with this team is that Ward isn't the most all-rounded striker. I think if we had an all-round striker who was fast, could dribble, someone like Adebayo, for example, who's creative, who can do everything, I think we'd have scored at least another, 15 goals this season. So I think we can create the goals. We've shown that. Sorba's made over about 80 chances this season, just him alone. So I think with a good striker, I think I'd definitely spend the most on a striker than any other position. Obviously, I'd obviously try and get Colwell on loan again. I think he'd definitely come back. He's already said, Fabrizio Romano tweeted about it. If he's either, he'll probably come back to Huddersfield for another loan if we go up. If not, he'll obviously either maybe stay at Chelsea and play there, or just go on loan again to a Premier League team. And then, so I think that'd be another centre back. Maybe we need another centre back. I'm just not sure. Really, obviously, Leeds had an amazing season, but we've still got to remember he's like 32, turning 33 soon. So even though he's had an amazing season, we can't really be trying to back him to play in the Premier League. But apart from that, I'd just say definitely striker, maybe 2 centre back, but obviously one of them being Colwell. Rest of the team, I'm fine with. I think players like Lewis O'Brien and Sorba and Toffolo, I think they're all kind of in that situation where they can make the step up to the Premier League. And I think it's one of them things where I think you see it with every team, no matter how good or bad they have in the go, the standards always, are higher, and they always become better players because they have to, and they know that, the style of football changes as well in the Premier League. Sometimes it's more intense, sometimes it isn't. I think the players will always become better. But yeah, definitely just say a striker and a centre back, really, or 2 centre back.
Yeah, I mean, I do, like I said, the intensity, like I said, is a key factor. I mean, Leeds may struggle. I mean, it's still going to be kind of, I mean, like I said, the core group of the squad, if we do go up, is ready for sure. But we do obviously need to make a few signings. I agree with everything you said there. I'm very nervous about tomorrow. Yes, you and me both. I know. I mean, I am getting nervous, but it is what it is. But it just means a lot to us. That's great. Adebayo as well. Yeah, like I said, I think he'll start tomorrow. I think he will, because I think he was rested obviously in the first leg, knowing full well he'd be ready for the second leg. So I think he's going to start. It's surprising. So this, he said that Pookie, would you get Pookie in, if we did go up to the Premier League? Because
probably, I wouldn't bring Pookie in. I think the main reason being is, he's crap in the Premier League, and we've seen it for 2 seasons, obviously, where it's just been non-existent. I think we need a younger, more versatile striker who's got, that ability on the ball, very skillful. Maybe a younger striker. Maybe we should go looking for that young sort of striker. But whatever we do, definitely not Pookie. I think we need to be looking for someone between that kind of 22 and 26 to 27 barrier, definitely.
I mean, if you look at him though, individually, if you look at him in the Norwich side, he's been around very poor players. So if he's around very
yeah, I guess.
I don't know. It's just something to kind of consider, because I think that if you do create for him and you do provide the set, I think he does score goals. But yeah, I mean, he's been in a poor Norwich side, and you can't really do it on your own, can you? So it is one of those. I mean, potentially, I think we could probably kind of try and get him. Campbell's career is over now, I think. Obviously, he's not. He's definitely not. Obviously, his contract is up, isn't it, this summer? I don't think he's getting it renewed. I mean, it's just not good.
I think he should retire and become like a coach, or like maybe just sign another contract, but become more of a player coach. And then obviously, like, instead of being a player, just come in if he needs, like, injuries are really bad. Because, it's same with Hogg, really. Obviously, I'd like to see Hogg in a few years instead of just leaving. I think I'd rather see him, obviously, become a coach or a player coach. Same with Campbell, because I do like him, but he is an awful footballer, especially at this age. There's not a lot to shout about anymore, and there aren't been for a while. But he's a nice guy. He's best interests at heart. So definitely a coach, or I'll definitely give him a coach, right? Maybe in the youth. Just keep him around the club, definitely.
Yeah. Just one centre back, but you were including Colwell in that one, because obviously Colwell, do you class him as a signing? You know what I mean? If he's already been here, let me know, because like I say, one centre back we may need to.
I think we just need 2 centre backs, because obviously you look at who we've got, and people like Sarr, not good enough for the Premier League. Lees, he's had a good season, but would you back him at 33 to be doing it in the Premier League and at a good enough level to keep us up? Probably not. Same with Pearson, obviously. I don't know. I think Pearson's not actually old. as old as we think. I think he might be still in his. I don't think
He
he's
does look,
30
yeah.
yet. He might be just about 30, but
I'm not sure. It's
obviously
just-
these players, I think Colwell's the only player in that at the back, who's actually ready for the Premier League. I think we definitely need to buy another centre back. And then obviously, if we're counting loans as Colwell as a signing, obviously, then I guess two. I think we just get him back on loan and then centre back.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I've just looked here. Pearson's 28. Can you believe he's so slow for 20? Oh man, he really. I'm not. I love Pearson, by the way. I think he's been absolutely outstanding, but he is very slow for that here. I'm only saying, but yeah. But like I say, what would you do with Sarr then? Because I mean, we're kind of talking about if we go up here still, but it is massive potential. We could. Would you keep him in the squad, or would you let him
I'd
go?
definitely keep him because he's got the heart and he's just one of them. I'd just love to see him come on in a few Premier League games, just put himself about really. He's definitely someone who we need to keep because I think he's definitely opposite. A lot of players have said before as well. He's really good in the dressing room and he's that sort of funny guy, but also at the same time, maybe stepping up to the Premier League could make him a better player. Obviously, this season he's become a lot better, and especially as we've become better, he's become a lot better. And I think yesterday will have done. I think as a man, for him as well, for the manager to pick you in such a big game, knowing you haven't been the best centre back this season, knowing you haven't started, but him having the confidence to bring Sarr, I think that gives Sarr a lot more confidence. So that's why I think maybe he'll start him again tomorrow, or maybe just instead. There's a lot of options because Paul Brown's definitely a surprising manager. He ain't the sort of person to stick to what you're thinking. So we could maybe see Sarr, Lees, and Colwell start at the back, and maybe bring Hogg out of centre half and maybe put him in midfield. Obviously, we'll just see. But I'm definitely going to back Corbyn. It's kind of a 50-50 if Sarr starts. To be fair, I definitely think we'll have a good chance to start.
Yeah, I mean, I think we it's a nice problem to have that depth, where you can put, this season, and that's. But I think whatever Carlos goes, we do trust him on that one for sure. I mean, so yeah, obviously Rose and Ward are good strikers, but like I said, the jump up to the Premier League, he's a massive jump. I'm not saying he can't do it, but we do need that, striker, But
especially at that age as well, they're quite old as well.
So another name that's been mentioned, João Pedro. Obviously, he's been at Watford this season. Now, I mean,
that's a good.
He's got a track record. He's played it. He's played in the Premier League. So you can't judge him too much this season because again, Watford have been absolutely terrible. So again, he can't do it on his own. Obviously, he's playing in the Championship a bit as well. But obviously he's Brazilian and he's 20. He's a young talent, So potentially, I
think alone definitely. I just don't think we'd be able to sign a player like him because he's high potential. You're probably backing someone else to, let's say someone did buy him. I don't think we'd be the sort of people to be throwing, 20 mil. I think that's probably what he'd be going for. He's Brazilian, he's 20, so that automatically makes him quite an expensive player. And obviously, he's got that potential, so he's always going to be over at least 10 or 15 mil. So I just don't think it'd be a permanent signing. I think maybe a loan, definitely, or something like that. But it's going to be, there's going to be a lot of interest in him in the summer, and I just don't know whether we'd be the club he'd want to be coming to in the end. Especially depending on whoever's coming for him.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, like I said, but like I said, maybe the appeal of playing week in, week out potentially would suit him more. Being young, wanting to play football. I mean, potentially, but I don't know. Like I say, it's a good shout though. I mean, but I think we will have to. I think this, if we do go up, we will have to spend that money on a striker though. 20 million.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you've got to do it because
last time. I think. What you speak.
I mean, I was just gonna say, obviously, we spent, 18 million on. It was in Benza. I mean, that was instalments, but I don't know if Watford would accept instalments. It may be, but I mean, we're still paying the fee eventually. But so that could be a potential. Even though it may be up to 20 million, if we could do it in instalments, that could be more manageable for us. But like I said, I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, what was you gonna say?
I was just going to say, I think the mistake we made last time we went up is I think we were very lucky that it was just one of them magical seasons where, you know, the players on paper weren't that good and they weren't very good at that level, but, you know, the passion just, and, you know, miraculously they were putting in good performances every week and we stayed up. Mooney, I don't think he was a bad signing. I think Mooney's a decent striker. He still is now, you know, he's banging in goals, obviously, in League One every week for, I don't know, I forgot who it is, but obviously he's still scoring now, but I think and then in that second season, we really needed to be buying another striker, or at least some creator, even if it wasn't an attacking player, because Tom Ince and Alex Pritchard and all them idiots, they were never going to do it, never in a million years. And then Benza, you know, we were hoping that we were going to start playing well that season. That didn't happen. Diakabe, Congolo, all these just idiots that were just, honestly, we really needed, and I think we just made the problem was we just went for foreign players. I think in that second season, we should have been looking at players who'd gone down from the Premier League and been like, yeah, him, you know, get him to us because, you know, he's just got relegated. He'll want to be coming back up. And so I think we should have been going for them sort of players instead of, and who else did we buy? It was someone like that Ramadan Sobhi or something.
Yeah, I mean,
I forgot that his name. Don't even know where we bought him from. I don't know why we bought him, but he was pointless.
I mean, obviously, it was one of those where, you know, I think for me, in that, you know, we're going back. We've already spoken about this before, anyway. But you know, it was because, you know, kind of people was coming into the club. They didn't want to play for the club. They just came for Premier League football, and we have to make sure that these people that come to the club want to play for the club, you know. But we aren't there yet. But I'm just being, you know, there is a massive chance we could be there. So that's why I'm saying it. Hoggy's a great captain to our team. The general, absolutely well said there. If Burnley go down, they have good central defenders. I mean, that's a good point, actually. Because, sorry.
No, I was just going to say Burnley's a good sharper player. I think anyone who goes down, really, you know, there's players in every. Well, obviously, we don't know who's down yet. The Leeds, you know, draw today, so they're looking a bit more likely to stay up now. But obviously, anyone who comes down, they've all got good players in there. But I'm going to have to I've got to go now. My tea's actually ready in about 2 minutes, so I'll have to head off now. But
yeah, we've kind of finished anyway. But yeah, so I mean, hope fingers crossed for tomorrow. Like I say, and we need to be really positive, and yeah, let's hope for the result. Let's book our trip to Wembley. But yeah, cheers for coming on, man. So yeah, that was another episode of the Proud Terriers Show. Like I say, we've just launched our YouTube channel, so please do subscribe, smash the like button, and yeah, comment your views. You know, how did it go? You know, what your feedback is. It'd be great to speak to you. You know, just a quick pointer though before we go. Obviously, we've had issues with our Instagram at the moment. You know, we're not able to use Instagram. We're going to create a new one temporarily. The reason we can't use our original Instagram is because basically we hadn't actually put a date of birth on the account of the, you know, when we set it up. So Instagram wants to know our age this morning. I still stupidly put in the founder date. But obviously you have to be 13 to have Instagram. So Instagram think we're under 13, so we have to verify ourselves. But at the moment the system's down, so we're having to wait another 24, 48 hours before we can actually appeal the decision. I mean, hopefully it will get sorted because, like I said, we have got to 1,200 followers and we have got a lot of fantastic posts and memories on there. But if we have to start fresh, we have to start fresh. But like I said, we will keep you posted on Twitter. Like I say, and if you follow us on Facebook as well, we'll keep you updated with everything that's going on. But like I say, rest assured, we are really making sure, you know, we really are working hard to try and resolve this as quickly as we can. But yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic to be back on YouTube tonight. It's great, and like I said, we'll be doing more of these weekly now. Relaunch the channel now, so we're going to be consistent with this. And yeah, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you to Rubin, Tyler, and Zach who came on briefly. And yeah, let's fingers crossed for tomorrow. We really are hoping that we get to Wembley. Of course we are. We deserve it, and you know we're just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, up the town, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. And if you're at the game tomorrow, I may see you there, because we're going to be at the front of the stadium for a bit before the match. So if you are around that area, please come and say hello. And yeah, it'd be great to see you. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. And yeah, I will see you very soon. All right, take care, guys. Bye bye.